Good afternoon, Chrissy here. I'm sharing today the last of my recent projects that I've been working on, and this one's a snippet roll in a pouch. I made the pouch to put the snippet roll in out of some cotton print fabric and an old doily, and I've made a rolled flower for the front, and I've just threaded some of the fabrics and added some seam binding to make a tassel. The back is like that, and this one I've made a little different to my first one, in that I've just put a little tuck in the bottom of it so that it sits, and I've dunked the whole thing in some tea to give it a old look, and I've made it very rustic, which is the way that I like these sorts of things to be, and I've left raw edges and threads, and I've closed it with a little dome or a snap, and I've lined it with muslin. And here is the little snippet roll inside. They're quite hard to show, the snippet rolls, and I've actually had 2 attempts already at making this video, so I'll give it another try, and hopefully you can get the idea anyway. I'll zoom in maybe a little bit. Hope that will focus alright. The cotton spool is a crochet cotton spool, and I haven't done anything to that. I've left it, it was a red colour, and that the fabric has got that colour in it, so it matches perfectly. It ties with some hand coloured seam binding, same as the seam binding on the front of the pouch. And this time I couldn't find a snippet roll, what do you call these little pins? Tim Holtz pins, adage pins or something, I think. But this one says vintage, so that's nice too. And I've added a little rustic charm to that, and a crystal and a bead. So I'll unroll it for you. As I say, they're very hard to show, but I'm going to try and take some photos to add at the end, if I can work out. My dear friend Kimmy B has been very kindly trying to teach me how to do things like that. I'm having a bit of trouble, Kimmy, still. Never mind, I'll get there. So the roll is just completely covered with, it's the length of the same fabric as this. This is what the base of my roll is made from, and it's all raw edges, just torn edges, so it's got the threads and things hanging out, which I like. It adds to the rustic look. Maybe I could go that way. The end here, I have just sandwiched 2 old pieces of doily together to cover the raw edge of the fabric, and then I've just layered everything. There's pearls, seed beads, bead caps, old pieces of lace, pieces of muslin, some calico words that I've just stamped on calico, just all little ends of lace and buttons, pearl buttons and old buttons, some little snippets, the things that you just have left over. And I originally got the idea of this snippet roll from Jeanette, Scrap and Happy XO, and thank you, Jeanette. I've had a lot of fun making the 2 snippet rolls that I've made so far, and so I hope that you can at least get an idea of what's on it. I know it's very hard to show you. Could I zoom in? Let me see. very easily goes out of focus if I narrowed it. Yeah, that's probably about the best I can do. So I'll pull it along slowly anyway. And on the spool I've sewn the strip of fabric around and just sewn it back onto itself, and then I've covered that with some lace that I've coloured. There. And the labels are the original labels on the spool this time, which was really nice. I think this on the back here is old washing instructions. And then the seam binding just goes through the spool, and when you roll it, the back, I've got to show you the back. That's the raw edges of the fabric, and then I've just laid on top of that a piece of old broderie anglaise lace, and I've left the raw edges on that, and I've sewn some buttons randomly along that, mother of pearl buttons and old buttons from my mother's sewing jar, which I love to use. And I didn't want anything too dimensional on that because of course it rolls on itself, so the buttons were fine because they're flat enough, and then that just rolls up. And the ribbons go over the end to hold it. And I'm going to keep this one myself. I really like this one, and I can't bear to give it away. So that's that one. Now I've had trouble, always had trouble making a rolled flower until last night when I was on YouTube, and Va, who is Bianca4430, I'm sure most of you know her, she's a very talented lady. I will put the link to her channel below. She had a tutorial, a very timely tutorial up to show us how to make rolled flowers. So all of a sudden the penny dropped for me, and I can now make rolled flowers. Thank you, Va. So I'll show you here the ones that I've been making. Oh, there's also the three that I showed you yesterday, the tattered flowers of there in this bowl too. So, but here are my rolled flowers. This one here is made from some old tablecloth lace edging that I had. I had a very old tablecloth that was disintegrated, and so I pulled the lace, or undid the lace off it, and I've dyed it, and that's made a lovely rose. This one here is very rustic. I made it with some hessian or burlap, and it's a little bit of a funny shape, but I still like it. This one here is tea-dyed calico, and it's made a very pretty rose. It's like the one on the front of my snippet roll pouch. I would like some more loose threads to be pulled through, but I could fiddle around and do that, I guess. This one was from some old lace that I had, and I didn't really like it. It was this quite thick cotton lace, and I had dyed it and I didn't really like the end result, so I made a flower from that, and I'll have enough there to make another one, so it was useful in the end. This one I love. I love the colour of that one, and if I had a rose that colour in my garden, oh, I'd be so happy. It's some fabric that I had played around with once, and I can't quite remember what I did with it, but I think I had dyed it and done some treatment on it, but it's made such a beautiful coloured flower. And then these three were ones that I had made the other day before I found Val's tutorial, and they're made out of a gauze bandage, and they're sort of a rolled flower, but, well, they are a rolled flower, but a slightly different look to the roses, but still very cute. And of course the three in the bowl are the three that I showed you yesterday. So that's been my flower making frenzy for the past couple of days. And now I probably won't see you for a while. Thank you very much for watching my channel and my videos and leaving comments, and until I've got another project to share with you, bye for now.